Well, good morning, everybody, and we're going to start out sideways. We've done
Sideways
that for a
Claude.
while, but it's doing it again this morning for some reason.
Good,
Uh,
good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Good to see you.
No doubt Dennis is at the Smithsonian.
Yeah, he's in D.C. today. And Dennis, if you're listening, Dennis, are you there on vacation? I'm assuming. Let us know why you're in D.C.
Yeah, we
I don't
doing?
think that. I don't think the DOJ called you in for consultation, did they?
Yeah.
They might have. Who knows? They may have just called him in to say, "Hey, stop."
Don't wander too far in DC.
Yeah, don't leave town.
It's a
Uh,
jungle. It's a jungle out there.
anyway, Jerry Telles's here today.
Okie dokie. Digger Evans was the first one to pop in here. Who else is here? Let's go to the list. Chris Brood, DES Media Productions, Dave. Dave Todd's here. What's up, Dave Todd? Digger Evans, Gerald Stewart, Grandpa Rails, Humanity Junction, Joe Raider, Lynn McCurdy, Otter Creek and Rio Grande, Randy Doman, Rob T Man, Steve Trainway Bills, Wigwag, Steve 87. Peace out.
Well, welcome, guys. Um,
Messy
Ray Wilson just showed up.
Messy Monitor just popped in. Anybody else? Ray Bertelston. Hey, good morning, everybody. For those
Yeah,
that are popping in now, popping
good
in.
to see you. Happy Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Um, I was just telling Jerry I came in this morning thinking we're going to have a full house on the show today, and then I forgot Dennis was in D.C. and Bill sent me an email last week said he was going to be here, but he's in Iowa, but he's not on, so I don't know where he's at.
Maybe
Um,
maybe he's got the Iowa crud.
that could be,
Yeah.
could be. Yeah, I don't think he's got. No, he hasn't sent me another email, so I don't know where Bill's at. But other than that, I'm pretty sure he's in Iowa. He was moving some furniture back from Virginia to Iowa.
Uh, if,
But
if you want to
anyway,
pop up, come on up. Claude will put the link in.
yeah, I put the link up.
Tell us what you've been working on, what you think you're going to work on, and you know, you know the deal. Yeah,
Yeah, you know the drill.
it's nice on the East Coast, Dennis. At least it's not humid and hot and nasty. It's pretty cool out.
Yeah, it's been really nice here this week. We played golf twice and it didn't even get up to 80.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like,
crazy.
whoa, because it had been almost 100 last 2 months
Yeah, we're
every day.
almost with August is almost over. August wasn't too bad. Like usually, August is one of the hottest months here.
Well, yeah, usually we stay hot through September. The fair comes, the annual Tulsa Fair comes every end of September, 1st of October, and used to be you could set your watch by the temperature by your watch on when the fair was here, because that's usually when you got the first cold front and the first good rain after a real long dry summer. But
Uh,
it's been fairly wet here this summer, and I mean everything's still green as it can be, and we're
yeah,
not even to the fair yet because the fair's still a month away.
yeah.
It's just kind of weird. I'm sure it'll get hot again before we get there, but
So something you're going to notice, Claude, and I noticed it with my StreamYards. When you have somebody in the basement, when somebody pops up, you're going to
mhm.
see a banner across your top of your screen that tells you.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, that'll help.
you probably didn't see it because when I came on, you were talking to your son.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But what where that will help is when we have like 5 or 6 people on here, 5 people on here, and we've got like Dennis might have 2 screens up,
yeah,
and so we don't have room for everybody on the underneath the screen
yeah,
on the platform. It would put you down below. Well, you can't see them, unless you're really looking for somebody below the main line of people. You
yeah,
don't see them, and so that's where you would sit there a long time. But if it pops a banner up, that would help,
yeah.
especially for
Steve Childers was saying about it yesterday in his stream. He noticed, and I was
yeah.
looking for it yesterday. Purposely, I used StreamYards, and it did do that. And it was like I was trying to figure. I couldn't remember what he said was different. And then when I had Digger come on, and it come across the top of my screen,
Yeah.
that Digger
Well,
Diggers
yeah,
are.
they've added quite a few different things to it, and
Yeah, I mean, it
I
changed.
haven't really done anything with it. I haven't done the advanced stuff on there that they keep popping up when we open the show because, reality, I don't even want to mess with it. It won't make our show any better, I don't think. But anyway,
Jason, come on up. Their link is there. I mean, we can't make people come up, Dennis.
yeah, exactly.
We can't make them come up. I mean, Claude, put the link.
Yeah,
Put the link
yeah,
again, Claude, in case you didn't see.
yeah. Jason, come on and show us that track work, man. You did a really good job with it.
Yeah, looks awesome.
And that's exactly why I like building my own turnouts because you can do that kind of stuff. Once you've done a few turnouts, you can figure out how to customize stuff.
Yeah, I
And
forget how big he said it was, like 4 or 5 feet long.
yeah, I saw the pictures of it yesterday. It's really long.
That's kind of cool that you could build something like that.
Yeah, and
But
it's
at the same
if you,
time, it's kind of scary that you build something that big, and if you screw one little part up,
no, but that's the thing.
nah,
If even though it's all soldered together, if you get something that's too tight engaged or too wide engaged or something like that, all you gotta do is get your soldering iron out and a pair of pliers,
so you,
neither those, melt the solder, move it over, regauge it, and it's really easy. So that's another reason I like it because you can change stuff like
yeah,
that.
I thought
Um,
once you did it, you're screwed.
no, 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 no. You can repair stuff, because your
Okay,
chances are over time your throw bars are going to want to come loose because you're flexing that joint all the time, every time it moves. And they say that's the one place and you don't put very much solder on that spot because you don't want to interfere with the flanges.
right,
So it's the first place that they're most likely going to come loose, but it's real easy to resolder them. So even in place with ballast on them, of course, you're not going to have ballast on your points, but
yeah,
you can still get in there and resolder it.
yeah,
It's not that hard. Come on, Jason. Come on. You
yeah,
come in or drive to the hobby shop. That's true. You don't. You just fix it.
yeah, yeah. So,
He's not gonna come on.
hey, he's not coming on.
No.
It's okay. And Anderson, come on up, Anderson. You're always primed for talking.
I don't know if you get Anderson on.
He came on one time. We couldn't shut him up when he came on.
Okay, Dennis, you started cutting a notch in the base of the rail to help with the points. Yeah, I don't know why that keeps flipping. Got this new phone working really good.
Yeah, it
Except
sounds
I
good.
started doing that again.
So's our iPhones, man.
Yeah, but it syncs with my Mac really well. So there
Yeah,
again.
got to use what you got to use. Sparky, forgot you. Sorry, Sparky. Anyway, so Claude, you think you're going to pull down some stuff upstairs? You hope to?
Oh, today?
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
whenever. While you're
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
while you're, while you're
Yeah, I'd like to. I
while you
may
got
get my.
labor.
Yeah, if I can talk my son into it. Of course, he wants me to help him with painting those dice. So
Well, you got to
may have
tell him,
to
hey,
may have to swap out here.
yeah, you got to swap work for work, right?
Exactly.
See,
Hey, Mark. Mark's here. Oh, Anthony's here. Good to see you, Anthony.
Georgia Sunbelt, good to see
Oh,
you.
here we go.
Ah,
See,
there's the Colonel.
play with matches, and this is what happens. Except he's frozen.
It's got no video. Colonel, kick your computer.
What this thing? I'll tell you what. Kick it again.
Maybe leave and come back.
Yeah, he'll get it figured out.
How's it going, Anthony? Good to see you.
Oh,
Oh yeah, did we talk about Steve? Steve probably isn't going to be on. He doesn't feel good.
oh yeah. I haven't heard from Steve, but I'm assuming he's still not feeling good.
Yeah, his shoulder's pretty messed up, and
Yeah, I doubt he's even watching the show.
I'll tell you, Claude, this box you sent, everything fits so perfectly.
Yeah, that's why I used it because I just got that. Actually, I got it from the pool supplier.
Yeah,
Um,
double.
now we got a whole bunch of people here.
Steve,
All right.
he's that. Good day, gentlemen.
So I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but my internet connection is not the best.
Yeah.
So
can hear
just FYI. Okay.
Claude, lower his
Okay,
mic.
yes.
a little bit.
Is it too
He's
loud?
loud. Yeah, he's loud for me.
Okay.
Have a good day,
That's
Dennis.
a little bit better.
Have fun.
Hey, Steve.
Morning. How's everything going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good morning, Mr. Sleepy.
Morning, Steve.
Morning. Yeah,
Jason.
sorry, I'm still a little sleepy. I do, this is
Yeah,
early in the
early.
morning.
Yeah, pretty early for you. Yeah,
Oh.
we understand. It's okay.
Well, Jason's got this beautiful track work that he's been doing. I've been watching you. I haven't been commenting too much on it, but I've been watching it.
Yeah,
And,
so from here to here is 50 inches, or right at it. I haven't done an official measurement, but I can. It is 49 and 15/16.
we'll call it 50 inches.
You're just short, huh?
Yep, just short, by 1/16 of an inch. So starting here, you have a left-handed number 6 crossover, followed by two 30-degree diamonds for the, this is the Rock Island that's going across here. And then the yard is going to be off in the distance. So to get into the yard, I have a number 5 switch here. The Rock Island's entrance is with this track here. And then followed by number 6 right-handed crossover here. So no matter which main line you're on, you can have access to the yard.
Yeah.
And so
did you have a jig for any of that?
the only one I cheated on a little bit of was this one here, but no, I don't have any crossover jigs or diamond jigs. But I'm thinking about possibly investing in one because trying to do diamonds on paper is a bitch. So
I know that feeling.
What would you
Try
do?
doing it. Try do narrow gauge.
yeah.
Do you have another spot where you need diamonds?
Well, so the only thing about these diamonds here, this track is not going to be used because it comes off the layout, right? So it's just there more for a visual.
Oh, so
But I have another diamond right there, and that one will actually be used because, oops, this phone thing is not the best, but because I have an industry right there, and y'all have to excuse the mess, but
yeah.
No, we won't.
M. Farley Shipping Company, Brinkley Tool and Die, and I still got to build a curved turnout to get into that industry over there. But I'm going to have basically two industries behind the phone. This right here is going to be a bag plant for like grain and stuff, so it'll receive bulk grain and bag it. And then I'll have two more industries and then a team track off in the corner. So there we go. Now y'all can see.
So
Uh,
most of that track work you built with paper templates.
yes, it was all paper templates taped together.
So how long were you filing on the rail for the diamonds to get the angle
Uh,
just right?
it took me a while.
I bet it did.
Um, it's. I mean, I've got the point forms for them, but here's the paper template that I used. And so the only reason why I've kept this is the only thing I haven't done to the track work is gapping the rails for the
Yeah.
frogs. So I still need to do that. But I mean, when you print off a crossover, well, you have to print that off twice and tape it together. Fast Tracks doesn't make the paper template as the full crossover. It's only half.
Yeah.
And then I did the number 5 turnout, the 2 diamonds, and then of course 2 more crossovers. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of paper all taped together.
Yep.
And then of course the other one I did on paper template as well. And the beauty of this is it allows you to get stuff closer together.
Yes.
So it really helps with the selective compression.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've always liked about it was not only was I using my hands to build something, which is the main part of it, but you
Right.
get to customize when you're building your own. You can't do that with commercial stuff. Well, you
No.
can, but it's not as easy. It's
Right.
much tougher.
And of course, not many manufacturers, there's some, but not many make number 5s. You have to either go from a number 4 to a number 6.
Yeah.
And then curve turnouts, good luck. Because, like, I know Atlas has a curve turnout. The outside radius is a 30-inch. The inside radius is a 24. So it's like you're limited to the only curve turnout Atlas makes. Well, I need a 28 on the outside and a 24 on the inside. 30 is going to be too big.
Walthers makes a curved turnout.
They do, but they make specific sizes.
Yeah,
so
right.
with Fast Tracks, you can get so many different options.
Right. Yeah.
Because what I was looking at with Brinkley Tool and Die and Farley, I didn't know exactly what size curve turnout I needed. So I printed off 2 templates. One was a number 10 with a 24-21, which is the tighter one. And then I printed off another number 10 that was 28-24.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I'll be doing that on paper as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, that's the beauty of doing your own. You can really fit it to what you need. And the only piece of track work that I bought for mine was the crossover, the crossing, 45-degree crossing that I put on mine because it was narrow gauge. I tried to build it myself and trying to get the guardrails inside the diamond.
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
cause you to go insane.
So is it possible to build stuff without the template, without the jig? Like in place? Like
I've seen people do their own, like use like like say for example these sweepsticks,
right.
and trace out. The only thing that you run into is you don't necessarily have the correct point form tool. Let me grab one and I'll show you what I mean.
So basically, if it's not in a template form, you really can't do it. Is that correct?
Oh, you can do it. It's just
Yeah, you
much
can do
easier
it.
with a template.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, Jerry, you want them to like hand lay like they do on the main lines? That's
Yeah, Pat's on that.
I don't know. I mean, I was just wondering, they can't have templates for everything.
And they don't. Like lap switches, for example. I've seen people do lap switches that are not in what we call the 3-way configuration.
I don't know what none of this stuff is. So
So, for example, and I took this apart. So this is the point form tool for the 30-degree diamonds or 30-degree crossings. And so on this side, you got your obtuse in. It's actually, yeah, it's on this side. And then this side, you have your acute.
Dude.
And so when you slide your rail, I don't know if you can see the
Yeah.
right there. And then, of course, on this side, it's going across. But that's what you put your rail in, and it gets you the correct filing angle, per se.
Yeah.
But I have various different ones.
You have a lot of different jigs there,
Well, these are not jigs; these are point forms.
or
So
whatever they are.
Yeah, those
yeah,
are filing.
jig-
They're filing. I call them jigs, but they're a filing
Yeah.
a filing helper.
I would call them jigs too, but
Yep.
you know, yeah,
This is a jig.
yeah.
So this is for a number 5 slip switch. So I could do either double slips or single slips in number 5 on here. But in order to use this, I have to have the point form tool so that way I have the correct angle on the points.
Right.
Yeah. One for
And
your
then-
frogs and all that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
with every
and then-
turnout, with everything you build, you need one of those little filing jig things.
Well, it
it
helps.
makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this
But-
is the stockade tool. So this is for your stock rails. So that way the point rails can slide in. So this goes for every type of turnout.
Right.
So
Yeah. So Jerry, Steve's dad years ago built
Right, I
their
remember
all their
Steve's
club
dad.
turnouts
Yeah.
by hand. He made his own jigs,
Yeah.
but he had to figure out all the filing angles and all that stuff himself, and had to build something to be able to make all those because it
Right,
wasn't
right.
commercially available.
Right.
hey guys, I'm gonna step away real quick. I'm gonna go get my charger before my phone dies.
Okay.
Anderson, what's up? Any
Hey.
mail calls?
I do. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet.
Okay.
My last mail call, or my last trip was over to New York City, or outside New York City in Long Island. That was kind of interesting. We had a couple of teams that had to be on site at the same time, so that was kind of a strange thing. But I did pick up something. I know it's Labor Day weekend, but I've wanted to buy one of these for a little while to see what they're like because of their cost. But if you guys got a minute, and if Jason's not
Yeah,
back
we
yet,
got a minute.
let's
Show
take
us.
a look at this.
got. Yeah.
So, I got to switch me around.
Steve's always picking up cool stuff.
Yeah, let me see if I can switch. Where do I switch me around at?
I don't know, Steve.
There
Well,
we
I like the picture in the background.
got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's one of my things I'm working on right now is a tree. But for the longest time, I've been watching this company called Architect. Right? They're out of Czechoslovakia or Austria. They make very highly detailed, completely painted items. So I went and picked up a Hummer.
Oh, that's pretty nice. What scale is that?
So this is 187 scale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Looks huge.
So, well, I'm right on top of it here.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay.
So-
That little display is pretty cool.
But
Little-
now these cost a little bit, but this is the way it comes. I mean, it's still fastened on the back end. So
how much was
this
it?
This was like, I think 35.
Yeah, but that's not bad though.
It's not bad at all.
There's a lot of detail there. I thought you were going to say $80 or something.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
No.
that's
Yeah, because you
But-
go to get just the regular HO sedan,
Yeah.
it's going to cost you $30.
I mean, look
Yeah,
at that.
so these
turret
are-
gun.
Yeah, it's pretty
This
sweet.
is really, really highly detailed. I mean, it even gave you, it comes with, they're fully painted. It comes with the antenna on it. I mean, you don't ever see that.
Yeah.
So this is like a really good front line. Like if you were to do military train, you could put one of these on the tracks in the front section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
It'd
that
be really good.
die cast?
No, it's plastic.
It's a
All right,
resin, huh?
let's see.
Architect.
Yeah. So Midwest Model Railroads just started bringing these in. There's a couple of things for everybody who's on here. If you go look, so Architect and Rylands, Reynaulds, out of Chicago, they're the two people that I know that have carried these for the longest time. If you go there and look at the lineup that they not only have modern, but they have a lot of World War I era and a lot of World War II era stuff. Plus, they have a large amount of loads that you can put on your cars and on train cars. And they also carry civilian vehicles and trucks. So for those who are doing like the 20s and 30s and all that, they've got a line of trucks and cars and tractors and cranes, as well as other stuff that is available and all that. And like I said, this is the first time I've gotten these, and I'm really highly impressed. I was going to try to find one of my Roco or Tridents that I have, because Tridents are a lot more expensive.
Where'd you buy it at?
This one I got off of Midwest Model Railroad.
Oh, so you didn't get it in New York.
So that was kind of one of my big mail calls. And like I said, I went to Train World. I was surprised out on, they're in Queens, I guess. Yeah. They're right by LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah.
So I was able to go there. I didn't think I had enough time, but I was able to stop by there real quick.
How was that store? Pretty good?
It's very small.
Is it really?
It's kind of, I want to say small in the way of like compact.
Is it like Yankee Dabbler?
Yeah. No, Yankee Dabbler's a little bit bigger. This one is, it's kind of shotgun. You walk in and there's an aisle on each side, basically.
Wow.
But boy, was it loud in there. There were the guys behind the counter and all that are pretty much characters. They're all talking trains. They've got a huge Lionel amount of trains at that location. They're okay with HO and N scale. I was able to pick up another little tank farm from Fowler. And it fit in my suitcase. That was one of the requirements. It's like, what can I get big enough that will still fit in my suitcase so that I could take it on the plane. So that was kind of cool. But those guys they're very knowledgeable, really kind of fun. It had that, kind of, Jerry, you've been around there, and had that like New York vibe. Everybody's like, hey, what's going on, man? And all this. It was a good fun time. There was a guy in there who had just bought a Lionel Big Boy, and was able to hide it from his wife for 2 weeks. And then he came in and got, I forget what the engine was, but he spent another $350. And he met me out in the parking lot going, yeah, I bought it. At least my wife doesn't come home till 5. I got time to go hide it.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's really true for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Especially that Lionel stuff.
Yeah. So that was kind of a good time. I couldn't get to visit Heath or anybody else on the island. I was just too busy. I did go. It was kind of fun. I had some time off, and they have an air and space museum out there on Long Island, and basically what it was a different kind of air and space museum. It was all about all of the aerospace stuff that was made on Long Island. And so they had all the Republic Thunderbirds that they built, all the different types of those. So like the A-10s and the the A-47 or is that the F-47? The Thunderbolt one. It was really amazing. And then they had all the Northrop Grumman Navy planes, because apparently Grumman was on Long Island, and it was a really, really kind of cool walkthrough to see how much stuff was made in a very small area.
That's kind of crazy to think it's so small out there.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, and just the amount of industry that they had in that area, and all of the, we sit here and we talk about progress and things and you can see the progress that everything was done there, and they even had a little section on companies that were still there and showed all of their different things that they were still making on Long Island. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I bet. Container Man, what's up?
Yeah, I didn't know they built airplanes out there on Long Island.
Yeah, I was really surprised. They had one of the stories was the place that it was at one airfield, and less than a mile away was another airfield that over time it had wound up turning into a mall. So the one airfield that the museum was at, it still had 4 or 5 of the original hangars, and that's what they put the museum in.
Oh wow,
So yeah, it was kind of interesting. So that was my week last week.
that sounds
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're into aviation, and yeah,
Yeah, I got a chance to go to the Air and Space Museum in Dayton, Ohio, at Wright Field. We'd gone up for a fly in there and got to go through that. And if you ever get to Dayton, you got to go through that because it's
So is
set
there,
up so nice.
is there like one mecca for air and aviation museums?
Oh, there's several
There's
good ones all over the country.
No.
Yeah, like even here in Seattle, they actually have 2 separate spaces for the museums here. You want to learn about commercial airplanes, Boeing's museum is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to that one too. I got a chance to go through it several years ago. There's a good one in Addison, which is in Dallas, north part of Dallas, Texas. That's a privately owned museum, and it's got everything from World War One up through Korean War. So they've got a MiG-15. They've got a Camel, Southwest Camel from World War One. They've got all the World War II stuff. They've got an Avenger there, which was the largest carrier-based airplane.
Yeah.
And that thing is huge. It's so much bigger than what it looks like in the movies when you see them in the movies. But they've got one, and the coolest thing about that museum is like 95% of the airplanes are flyable. They're airworthy.
Yeah.
They had an HE-111
Wow.
there,
Mm.
Ankle 111. Now it had the Merlin engines on it versus the Jumo engines, but it was built in Spain after the war. But
Yeah.
it's still pretty cool to see one in person.
Yep.
Um,
And then
that's a good museum there too.
the other one that's really huge is the Pima Air Museum in Tucson, Arizona. So kind of the story behind that, I don't know if you know this and some of the people. So Tucson is where the military sends all their planes to sit around before they dispo them, deciding what they're going to do with them and all that. And so the Air Museum there has the ability of going across the street and pulling a plane off of the line and bringing it over. And they've got lots of things there that's just incredible, some of the stuff that they have there for such a small place.
Yeah. Yeah, there's several good air museums in the country. I know there's one in Pensacola. I think it's mainly naval.
Yeah.
And there's one in Chico, California that's really good. There's several good air museums around the country.
What is it about aviation and trains that so many people like bring both of those? Somebody is in aviation kind of like gravitates to trains. What is it about that?
I couldn't tell you.
Because there's a lot of people in the community that like aviation and they like trains. Like
probably the modeling aspect.
Yeah,
that could be. Yeah,
think so.
Or the fact that
where they came from.
Keep in mind a lot of you had railroads that owned aviation companies.
Yeah, this is true too.
Yeah.
So,
well, you also every one of us probably grew up as kids with toy trucks and toy airplanes.
Not me. I didn't have no airplanes.
What, did you just have a ball of yarn or something?
No, trucks.
No, he had a box. He just had
Truck.
a box.
Trucks. Trucks. I like trucks as a kid.
But yeah, but I mean, a lot of kids, they get a, electric train for Christmas at some point, usually when they're pretty young, like usually younger than they need to be for having one. But, I knew I had one, and I still like, cars and trucks too. So you got both those aspects there,
Yeah, see, like
and airplanes and all that.
Yeah, I never liked planes. I don't know why.
I mean, I
kind of like the World War II planes.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But like, I never had a model, never did a model, never. Yeah, it's kind of. But I look in chat, and I know Dwayne is into planes, JD is into planes, Joe Rader's into planes.
Bernard owns a plane.
Yeah, Bernard owns a plane. Tim McCurdy's into them. You two are into them. How about
John flies them.
Jason? Are you into planes?
No, not really.
See, like he's in with me. That's like, but Johnny 2618, he's in the planes.
Well, for me, airplanes, especially once I was an adult, when I started doing the RC stuff, it turned very rapidly from learning how to fly a trainer plane into scale airplanes and the history of the airplane I was building. So and one of these days I'll show you all the pictures of the different planes that I built. But I had one that was a World War I plane that for a specific pilot, and it was black and white striped. And this particular pilot actually put a mirror on his top wing just above his head so he could see behind him. And he also had a good luck teddy bear mounted up there. Well, I found a teddy bear that was the right scale and put it on that airplane and had a little mirror up there for it. So it looked just like it's been. I've got the picture of him sitting in the cockpit with that in the background. And then I had it in my airplane. So that to me was a lot of fun to do. And researching the history was huge for me in that stuff. And it's the same thing with trains. It's the history part of it to me is very fascinating because that's what drove everything. Whatever they had to get done, that's what drove them to build all of these things, whether it was an airplane, automobile, or a train.
Yeah, I think one of the things is too is like Jerry, you were talking about. I think as younger kids, when you look at the different models, right? Like you said, you're in trucks. For me, trucks were really hard to get into. I mean, we had matchboxes, right? So everything was all put together. So there wasn't much modeling to do. And so I think the model airplane is like one of the first models that a lot of people do. And this is kind of weird, but think about it. It's one of the easiest dioramas to make. A diorama of an airplane is probably one of the easiest dioramas to make. You need some fishing string and a thumbtack and a ceiling, right? And you have an actual airplane flying, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what some of the connection is, and then it just kind of goes from there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think the ease of modeling and growing up playing with them in the sandbox or out behind the house, Tonka trucks and model airplanes and stuff. Because all the model airplanes that I built, we'd take them outside and blow them up with fireworks or something.
Yeah, I mean, I built model cars and things, but I blew them up.
I did cars too. Well, I didn't blow the cars up, but we blew the airplanes up. But yeah, I modeled cars and modeled all that stuff. But the trains were always the electric trains. I never had a train. Well, I'll take it back. I had my very first train was the wooden trains with the wooden track, and they snapped together or something, and you had that, and you just did them by hand. So that was my very, very first train. But then after that, it wasn't long. I had a Lionel. So, I think that aspect of it is plants the seed, and this as well as the rest of us in here. Little boys never really grow up when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so like where I grew up, I grew up under the runway for Philadelphia Airport, International Airport. I see planes all the time. It just didn't like. It never like resonated with me.
And that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Kind of weird.
There's
I mean,
well, there would I knew people living near the train station in the town I grew up in that had me fascinated as a kid.
yeah,
But I know people that were irritated with them every time they come in because those
Yeah.
F7s coming in, rumbling in, blowing the horns,
yeah.
all the way through town, and it wasn't a very big town, so yeah, they would get tired of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean everybody's different in
Yeah,
that
everybody's
regard.
different. Yeah, but for me, it was Tonka trucks and Matchbox trucks, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's the way that I kind of grew up, was with the Tonkas and with the
Yeah.
Matchboxes, and then
back then,
Um,
man, Tonkas was so cool because like you could dig with them,
Yep.
and they were like
Oh, you could launch them off a 3-story building and you couldn't
Yeah.
hurt them.
right.
The originals. Yeah.
and
They-
and
they were
Jerry, like
tough.
for me at the time, and it might have been around with you too, at the time that was going on, that when I was in my the single digits and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What was going on in my neighborhood is they were putting in drainage sewers and sewer pipes.
Building stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, so they were all making these new roads and things like that and all. So I got to see the
Yeah.
real live stuff like right in front of my house,
yeah.
for weeks
Yeah.
at a time
Like
too.
so, like heavy equipment like that has
Yeah.
always attracted me.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just cool to watch it work. And
Yeah. And so, Jason, what are you what are you drawing out there?
So what I am trying to figure out is where to put this guy. So I'm getting my measurements 3 inches off the main here, going this way, and then of course I have, like I said, this track here that comes in that starts the yard ladder. This is the turnout that's going to be for the runaround. And so I'm trying to figure out where to have it perfectly spaced.
how many tracks you gonna have in your yard?
4 with the lead, so that would be 5 tracks total. Then there will be, like I said, the 2 industries behind the phone, and then this industry here that'll act, and then 2 more, and then a team track. So
Well,
it's going to
yeah.
look like a 6-yard track because
Well,
the team track will be the last track in the yard.
Is it a dead end yard or does it go
Yeah,
through?
it's dead end
Okay.
or stub ended.
That adds more operation stuff to it when they're stub in.
Yep.
You got a lot more back and forth work to do.
Anytime you put in a stub in yard, you have to put in a runaround.
Oh yeah, got to have a runaround.
So that's this turnout that I did last night. It only took me about an hour and a half to cut all the rail, file it, solder, glue the ties on. I mean, I let the glue sit overnight.
Here's a potential video for you, Jason, because I know you like to do videos. Talk about how a yard works in that configuration. Because I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't understand, what you need to make your yard work. And they just build things, and then they find that it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. And the ironic thing is DJ has already done all that. DJ Strain.
Yeah, but like not everybody is subscribed to DJ, right? I
Well,
understand. There's a ton of videos out there, but not, I'm not subscribed to DJ.
Well, there's a lot more people subscribed to DJ than me.
Yeah, but it would help you draw people to you, right? Yeah,
right.
So, but I mean, it's up to you. But
I mean, when I get it,
I never like really. I rail fan, but I don't know how the railroad works. I don't know. Like, you need this to do this, and you need a runaround track to, get to point A to point B, and I never knew that stuff. I mean, but there's probably a lot of people that are in model railroad that are building layouts that really don't know how the railroad works, unless
Right.
it's just going around in a circle,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got what's called two types of layouts. Technically three. You have the rail fanners layout, which is just watching the trains run, whether it's
Yeah.
figure eights, loop-de-loops,
Whatever.
whatever. And then you have the operations, which is like a small switching layout. Like you could start off with something like John 2618, where you just had one wall, and then you add onto it and have an L-shaped layout. And then you can do something crazy like me, where you're building a club size layout and you can implement both rail fanning and operations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
kind of what I tried to do with mine. With the standard gauge part of it, it was a loop to loop, and had it set up with automatic switches, so I could turn it on and let it go. And then the narrow gauge from the yard to going up the mountain had to cross over that, so you had timing issues there that you had to deal with. And
Right.
of course, the main line standard gauge would have right of way, so you have all that incorporated in that. And then the narrow gauge was all point to point. So I had all those aspects incorporated, which, not everybody wants to do, but I did that, and it was going to be really nice until I started taking it down. But
Yeah.
I still going to try and do something similar to that. I'm just not going to have standard gauge in anything new that I do. But I had a question for you, Jason, on
Yeah.
your yard there that you're doing. Are you dropping the elevation down any, like the prototype, or are you just going to leave it the same height?
So the Midwest cork is actually a tad bit higher than these cork rolls that I get from Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
so it barely drops it down, but not too much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know some people like to do that because it is a prototypical thing, but
Yeah.
it's not something that I think has to actually be in there for it to look good. But
Right.
Yeah, because then you got that whole ramp, and you got to sand it down and make the
make it,
transition and get it lower.
yeah,
Now, I did do that over in the sawmill, but I also buried the rails in plaster too, so it looks like it's in the ground.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
So that was a pain in the rear. And one of the things that I found out when Robert came and operated is the switch that's buried in the plaster. I'm going to have to kind of bust part of it out because the diverging stock rail is a little too tight in gauge. So I'll have to chip it out so I can adjust that rail and then put it back in before I do any scenery over there.
So like
Yeah.
filing the rail, that's not good.
No, because it's too tight. So what happens is it causes the cars on the diverging track to hop on top of the rail and then they just come off.
Okay.
yeah. I buried a rail on mine too, but it didn't incorporate the entire turnout, so the points weren't in it, just the diverging route. And
Well,
I used the same
show
thing I
y'all real
used for
quick.
my blacktop roads, which was the concrete patch instead of plaster.
So Jason, was that like the first turnout you did? Like,
Yeah, it was one of my first ones.
so like, yeah.
And
That's like,
I
I
even
think-
did it with a jig.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I
Let's
think
see
one of
here.
the good things to like if you have to bury a switch or something like that, rather than using the hard stuff, that's maybe where you go ahead and cut up the pieces of that 1 millimeter foam, because then at least it's soft and you can just keep cutting it until it's to the right size. Whereas, I mean, I did the plaster on mine a little bit, and I'm like, do I really want to do that in the future? Because it's such a pain in the ass
didn't-
doing it.
In my
It is.
bird track, I didn't do plaster. I used balsa wood.
So it's right here. So I left where the points are in the middle. I left that open and I just put ballast in it.
Right.
But it's this rail right here that's just a little too tight. So what I'll have to do is plaster on the outside of the rail so that way I can slide it over.
Oh, so
then
it's not that
plaster
bad.
back
You don't
in.
have to take it out.
No, I don't have to dig it all the way out.
Yeah.
But
You can
doing the ramp, yeah, that was a
repair
pain
in
in the
place.
butt.
Yeah.
Getting it smooth.
So yeah, there's the sawmill and the Morning Star. That's my only passenger train right now, but I'm actually looking at incorporating a second passenger train because I got my hands on and I don't have it, so I can't show it. But I got my hands on a Atlantic, and it's brass and cotton belt Atlantic made by I can't remember if it's Hallmark or Overland that makes it, but I'm going to use that Atlantic to pull my director's special around. So I'm going to do like a little 4 or 5 passenger car that's going to be for the railroad president to go around the layout on the, special runs here and there.
Yeah.
Business train.
But I
Office
can show
car
this
special.
area. So this area is all complete. Let me move this maintenance away chain out of the way real quick, and I'll show you how I did the track design on this side. Oh, I hit stuff. Oh well. All right. So engine facilities is right here. So this will actually be a separate railroad that's going to operate this industrial section. So this yard in the middle, which is open-ended. And I'll get to that a little closer. It is an interchange between the cotton belt and the industrial. Right now, I have a cotton belt switcher here, but I did get my hands on a locomotive at the train show last weekend. So it will be ran by a chassis steam locomotive. First industry, we have Wilson Foods. So it's got 3 tracks. You got 2 cars that are kind of sticking out. They should actually be.
Is that an ITLA kit? Is that ITLA?
That is ITLA. So there's 2 cars inside the building. These are modules. And so Joey from Late Night Model Railroad is the one who's me on this.
Yeah.
But inside is the receiving. This is the shipping track here. Back here is the cleaning track. So all 3 of these tracks tied in together. And then we're going to go a little further. Here's the first double slip. I don't know how well you can see it, but that was the double slip I tried to build on paper and found out it didn't work. I ended up buying the jig. So that's like Claude was talking about. And then I'm going to set the camera down. Yeah. So this one does have a runaround because I do have industries that are, I got Wilson Foods that's going to be on one end of the locomotive, but all of the other 3 industries are on the other end. And I wanted it to make it to where they didn't do the runaround on the main. So I did put a runaround track here, but there will be a scale, and I've got to get that adjusted right. But so ignore how it's all set, but the scale is going to be right here. So
was that a kit? Was that a kit? That little thing, that all those track pieces?
Yes, that is actually half of the kit. So Walters, and they should be coming back out with it pretty soon, does a scale house kit. And so this is the light scale, and then the heavy scale will go down in the yard, the big yard on the bottom level. So this is the interchange track. Track 1 is for outbound, track 2 and track 3 is for inbound. And tracks 2 and tracks 3 can hold a total of 6 40-foot less cars. Track 1 can hold a total of 7 40-foot cars. I wanted to make sure that the outbound could hold more than the inbound. So I should never be shipping out 7 cars at a time. But the track 3, which is this one here, it holds the cars for Wilson's Foods, which is 2 cars. And then this track here will hold the Shacklet Furniture Company, Budweiser, and Passmore Gas, which is further down. And so moving a little bit further so you can see it. This is Shack-A-Sit. I'm actually in the process of selling this building. And I have the Walters kit right here. It's a hardwood furniture company. So it's basically the same kit. This is the backdrop kit. And the thing I don't like about it, there's no back on it. so it's not very stable. So when I kit bash this will allow me to build it a little bigger and have a bigger industry. And I have to thank Joe Rader for that, because he's the one that kind of taught me about doing that stuff. And then going further, I put in a single slip. I don't know if you can see it right there. There's a single slip kind of to the top. There you go. So this is the single slip. So you can get from here to the yard, but you can't get from Budweiser to go over towards Wilson Foods. So that's what a single slip is versus the double slip.
So,
And then,
Jason, do you have all of your turnout motors in yet?
on this section, I do. Having a few out of the way. Here we go.
How do you control?
This track and this track is Budweiser, so this is where they drop off grain, and then this is where they load it up with beer. And of course, this flash track comes down here to pass more gas, which I'm actually going to downsize. I did have 2 propane tanks, but I decided to go down to the 1. So, and got a sheet of styrene that I'll have to glue all that on. And so this is actually still in building phase. But as far as like the kit bashing, the reason why I'm on the shack of sit is because if you look at this building here, this was originally the Walters Ford tire plant. This wall here is actually the back side of the building. So sliding this over here, I make it look as the industry is a lot bigger than, you know, just using 3 sides of the building, especially if I cut them down.
And we got 2 questions. Steve at Trainway Builds wants to know what you use for operations.
Right now, I am using JMRI Pro or Operations Pro, and I'm still trying to figure some of the kinks out on it because it's not doing exactly what I want it to do. So, but yeah, this Hickory Ridge. This section is done. I can turn it on and let you see the panels. I've got duplicate button panels over here. So all of these all are our circuits, quick link buttons. So anytime you put a switch, it changes it from green to red to let you know that this is in the thrown position, that is in the closed position. If the dispatcher at the computer throws the switch, it will still change color to let you know the indication, no matter if you press it or didn't press it. But I have another panel down here, so that's why I have a duplicate. Let's see here. So you can see that one on the very bottom corner changes. I hit the button every time. So, but I plan on having another one of these over there in Brinkley when I get it finished.
Anthony wants to know what industry is using the scale that you were showing us.
What industries?
No, what industry is using that scale?
Actually, so it's the railroad is using the scale to ship all cars out. Yeah, the railroad. Yeah. So every car that gets picked up has to go across that scale. That's just part of the ops rules. Because the railroad back in my era in '58, they shipped by weight, not by commodity.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so, we're just about out of time, guys.
That way too.
Yeah. Yeah. Time is running quick.
Yeah, that went quick today.
Appreciate you guys for coming on, showing what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Jason. That diamond section there is really nice. You did a good job on it.
Thank you.
And Steve, thanks you for coming on.
Sorry, just looking at my mini prints box for the month. So haven't had a chance to open it.
Uh-oh.
Everybody,
well, open it up real quick and show us.
You want to show us real quick?
You got to be fast, so.
Sure, let me see. I can do it real quick. What do we got? So this month,
You get one every month?
Up. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Bernard gave us a sticker. We got some hay bales that he made. A canoe.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really thin, but it's really nicely done looking
Yeah.
at it. The summer intern, apparently, we get, he's apparently fighting somebody. So Bernard and him must have had words or something. But one of the things that he said about this particular model in the write-up is that this model is not made from a scan. He actually did this from a photograph that he took of him.
Is that you?
No, that's his summer intern doc. But that's one of his new things that he has going. You can send him a photograph, a very nice photograph, and he can go ahead and extrapolate it out into a 3D model.
Wow.
That's
so you don't
cool.
have to go on site. And then I'm not exactly sure what part this is. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is the makings of a roadside stand, vegetable stand, and things like that. He's got some baskets and all that. I'd have to look at how this all goes together.
But the
reason he kind of did that was because he made up a John Deere flatbed hay trailer with a wooden deck. So it's based on the John Deere, and that's what kind of gave him. He goes, "Hey, I've seen these hay trailers before and all that, and a lot of times they turn into fruit stands and vegetable stands on the side of the road."
Yeah.
So I think that you can probably do a modification of these two things. So that was the mini Prince of the Month thing.
Cool.
Well, pretty cool. Thanks for showing it to us.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little bit over now.
I tried to talk fast.
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week. Have a good Labor Day.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. You guys have a good week.
Thanks for having us.
Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
All
See
right.
you later.
Take care.